Vrindavan Yashodanandana Brajajanarandana Yamunatira Vanacham Hari Yamunatira Vanacham Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindavan Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Sham Sundara Radha Sham Sundara Hare Jaya Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Radhe Sham Jaya Radhe Sham Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Haribal 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 Nitai Gaura Haribal Nitai Gaura Haribal 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 Nitai Gaura Haribal Jaya Bhakti Siddhanta Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Srila Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaga Charya Shrota Shatya Shishimachila Bhakti Silaisi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jaya Vishupad Paramahamsa Parivrajaga Charya Ashtotara Shatya Shishimachila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Kodi Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Sirup Si Sanatan Bhattaraganachi Jiva Gopal Bhattada Saraganacha Goswami Prabhu Ki Prem se ko Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopa Gopi Gopinath Cham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Sri Mathura Dham Ki Sri Mayapura Dham Ki Sri Jagannathpuri Dham Ki Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi Ki Ganga Yamuni Devi Ki Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Sri Sri Gaunitai Ki Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Ki Sri Sri Radha Shama Sundar Ki Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Guranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. So today we are assembled here to discuss about the wonderful qualities of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada's spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, who was the divine son of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is also known as the Saptam Goswami, the seventh Goswami. After the six Goswamis, of course, Narottam Das Thakur was also very prominent, and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and they also wrote transcendental literatures, but specifically Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he took the essence of the six Goswamis' literatures and he put it in his literatures for our benefit. And he was trying to preach Krishna consciousness about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at his time. And so he was, of course, successful. to some extent. But then he was also praying to Krishna, to Mahaprabhu, please send me somebody to help me. Praying for a ray of Vishnu. So, ray of Vishnu, of course, ultimately Vishnu that refers to Krishna, because Bhaktivinoda Thakur also an eternal associate of Mahaprabhu and Krishna. So praying for a divine personality, manifestation of Krishna or Srimati Radharani, empowered personality, to help him establish Krishna consciousness, spread Krishna consciousness. Ultimately, that was the vision all over the world. And so Bhaktivinoda Thakur also, so he wrote his transcendental literatures and even sent them to the West also. He was a great scholar. But then he felt, I need somebody to help me. And so, praying, he had actually 10 children. And so one of them, so was then Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. So first of all, I would like to read the prayers which we recite regularly. Of course, some devotees, they recite every day in glorification of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, which was compiled by one of his disciples. His name was Ananta Vasudev, who also then became a sannyasi and a preacher. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine. I offer pranam unto Vishnupad, Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Prabhupada. So if you go to the word for word, so offering obeisances, Namo Vishnupadaya, who is situated at lotus feet of Vishnu or Krishna. Of course, Om, that also refers to ultimately Radha and Krishna in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Siddhanta. And then Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale, he's very dear. He's most dear to Krishna in this world. And here we have to specify Krishna and Braj. So Srimati Bhakti Siddhanta, so that was his name after entering sannyas. He was actually a great scholar, as we know, and he was a great astrologer. So the title Siddhanta Saraswati was conferred upon him because he wrote also some books in regards to astrology. And the famous book was there, Surya Siddhanta, and he gave some commentary on that, and therefore the title was given to him, Siddhanta, Saraswati greatly learned. As we know, Saraswati refers to the goddess of fortune, the goddess of learning, Saraswati. Ultimately, we know that Mool Shakti Srimati Radharani, the original, the beloved of Krishna. Krishna is Mool Roop, the source of all personalities of Godhead. Similarly, Srimati Radharani, she is Mool Shakti, the original energy. All the goddesses of fortune, Saraswati Devi, they are all expansion of Srimati Radharani. So, the spiritual master is a representative of Nityananda Prabhu. Sometimes it is explained, especially in regards to preaching the process of sadhana bhakti. So, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti following rules and regulations, and specifically, of course, according to Mahaprabhu's ideas and instructions, which was conveyed to his associates, Rupan Sanatan and Raghunath Das Goswami, Jiva Goswami, and who in turn have written transcendental literatures for our benefit, so we can imbibe the mood which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give, and that is Braj Bhakti. But first of all, we have to engage in sadhana bhakti, following rules and regulations. But there also, according to the instructions ultimately given by Mahaprabhu to the 6 Goswamis, specifically Rupa Goswami, and we are known as Rupanuga Vaishnavas. That is also indicated in these verses here. So, Shivasa Bhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha. I offer pranam to Sri Vasabhanavi Daita Das. So that was the initiated name of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, given by his beloved Guru Maharaj, spiritual master Srila Gaurkishore Das Babaji Maharaj, who was a close friend of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Sri Vasabhanavi. Vasabhanavi, that refers to Srimati Radharani, the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So in Sanskrit, so it can be Vrishabhanu Sutta or Vrishabhanavi, refers to the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. Daita. Daita means the beloved. That refers Krishna, the beloved of Srimati Radharani. So Sri Vasabhanavi Daita Das, the servant of Krishna, the beloved of Srimati Radharani. So, Daitaya Kripabdaye, Kripabdaye, so an ocean of mercy. Abda means ocean, Kripa means mercy. Krishna Sambandha Vijnana, so Krishna Sambandha, Vijnan. He bestows the relationship of, the realization of our eternal relationship with Krishna. Krishna Sambandha, Daine, He's giving, Prabhave. So, Nama, we offer obeisances to Him. So, that is the first. Of course, the glories of these great personalities are unlimited. We're just giving a few words in their glorification for our purification. So, first we have to understand Sambandha Tattva, and the spiritual master is giving first Sambandha Tattva. What is our relationship with Krishna? First of all, we are not this body, we are spirit soul, and we have an eternal relationship with Krishna. That is Sambandha Gyan in short. We have come to this material world, but we have to go to the spiritual world where we actually belong. By nature, Jiveri Supo, Krishna Nitya Das, we are Krishna Das. That is our constitutional position. And so we are here to realize, Vijnan. So realization has to be there. But first we have to receive knowledge, Gyan, and then we can get the realization. So as Brahmaji was also receiving from Krishna himself, as explained in Chatushloki. And there before that, Krishna is actually explaining to Lord Brahma, Jnanam param guhyambe vijnanam sasamanvitam. So I'm giving you this confidential knowledge, and included in that the realization will be there. Sarahasya tadangascha. It is very confidential. So, but we have to actually, the anga, the bhakti anga, the limbs of devotional service, you have to practice, you have to engage in devotional service. Then you can realize. First we need to have knowledge, and then we have to engage in devotional service, and then we can realize the subject matter. We can realize Krishna Sarup, Krishna Tattva, then our relationship with Krishna, our transcendental relationship with Krishna. So that is the beginning, but then we have to get some more knowledge, Abhidheya Gyan, so how to properly execute devotional service. And as his name is also there, Bhakti Siddhanta, as in the first verse. So he knew the conclusions, or of course, as spiritual master it is obvious, the spiritual master should be Shastravit, he should know the scriptures, especially the scriptures given by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's followers. But then also he should know the Siddhanta. What is the Siddhanta of the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy? That he should know. The Shastravit, Vedanta, he should know Vedanta also, the spiritual master. And the Siddhanta, the conclusions of the scriptures. What is the conclusion of our scripture? So we are worshipping Radha Krishna, we are worshipping Mahaprabhu. There may be many persons who are also worshipping Radha Krishna, even here in Braj. And they have the understanding, as we know, and that is fine for them, that Radha Krishna, they're always together. And they perform their pastimes, they're always together. And their associates are there. But the conception which Mahaprabhu gave, which is the highest conception, and that is the highest form, that is Braj Bhav, in Braj, in the spiritual realm, and Radha Krishna there in transcendental loving exchange, which is known also as Parakya Bhav. Whereas in Vaikuntha, and even some manifestation is there in the outskirts of Golok, of Swakya Bhav, Radha Krishna always together. So the Acharyas have explained that also. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the highest conceptions and the highest manifestation of the transcendental couple, that is the Parakya Bhav. Radha Krishna belong to each other, but Krishna is eternally residing in Nandagaon, and Srimati Radha in Barshana or Javat. And then they meet every day, practically morning time, noon time, and then night time also. And so that is the highest transcendental relationship. So that is also indicated here in the third verse. Madhurya Jvala Premadya Sirupanuga Bhaktida Si Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigraya Namastute O Shila Saraswati Thakur. You deliver Si Rupanuga Bhakti. Rupanuga, we are known as Rupanuga Vaishnavas. Followers of Rupa Goswami, as Prabhupada in the Mangalacharan, first his offering obeisances to his spiritual master by reciting Om Agyana Timirandasya and so on. And then afterwards, immediately, Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Darati Swapadantikam. So offering obeisances to Rupa Goswami, who is very dear to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. In Gaur-lila, and in Krishna-lila, his Rupa Manjari very dear to Srimati Radharani, to Radha and Krishna. So we are followers, as sadhakas, we are following Rupa Goswami, of course, under Prabhupada's guidance, and then Prabhupada has presented, as we know, and Bhakti Shastri is there, and usually the devotees, when they come to join, Bhakti program still sometimes there. And so there first the nectar of devotion was taught and nectar of instruction. The books of Rupa Goswami, of course, Rupa Goswami wrote so many other books, but these are very important books, and especially for the beginners and for those who are practicing seriously and want to come to the highest level. These books are very important. The acharyas in our line, they are teaching what Rupa Goswami has told, especially. But of course also Sanatana Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami, their literatures are also there for us ultimately. And then in a higher realm, then taking shelter of course, Rupa Manjari or Rati Manjari, were very dear to Srimati Radharani under Lalita and Vishaka Devi. So Madhurya Jvala Premadya. Madhurya. So Ujjval Madhurya Prem. So that refers to Braj Bhakti. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, there's a verse in his glorification, Narpita Charim Chirakai Navatana Kalo Samaripataman Uno Ujjvala Rasam Savakti Sriyam. In the invocation, Mangalacharan verses of the Chaitanya Chaitamrita. So he has come, Mahaprabhu is coming once in a day of Lord Brahma after Krishna. And then, so he has come to give actually, to establish the chanting of the holy names, the Maha Mantra. But he specifically has come to give this Ujjval, Braj Bhakti, but they are Ujjval Unat Ujjval. Ujjval, the very bright and shining. Unat, the highest of this wonderful Braj Prem, but specifically which is the highest? The love of the gopis. So specifically Mahaprabhu came to give this, and through his disciples, to his followers, especially the 6 Goswamis, who are Manjaris, gopis, younger gopis, assisting the divine couple. And then, but of course, to come to that understanding and to be absorbed, that will take some time. First we have to perform Vaidhi Bhakti, and we have to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But here also it is mentioned, Si Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya. So the Shakti, the potency of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the embodiment of the Karuna Shakti, the Kripa Shakti of Mahaprabhu. So the spiritual master is sometimes addressed as Krishna Kripa, Sri Murti, the embodiment of Krishna's mercy. And here Gaura Karuna Shakti, so the embodiment of the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Of course, ultimately also indicated here. So not only is a representative of Nityananda or Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna, but in our line, the spiritual master is a representation of the mercy of Srimati Radharani. So here also, so that is ultimately indicated here also. So Gadadhar Pandit is no different also from Srimati Radharani and Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So he has given beautiful verses in glorification of Mahaprabhu. Smara Gaura Gadadhara Keli Kalam Bhava Gaura Gadadhara Pakshachara Shinu Gaura Gadadhara Charukata Bhajagodurma Kanana Kunjavidum. So offering obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who performs his pastimes in Godrum. That is actually the place where Bhaktivinoda Thakur was staying. And they're worshipping also Gaur Gadadhar, who are no different from Radha and Krishna. So these verses are the amplification because Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was empowered by Radha Krishna, by Mahaprabhu, and of course by his father also. He's the answer to his prayers. A ray of Vishnu, of Krishna, of Radha Krishna, manifestation of the mercy of Radha and Krishna to help him in. And so Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he published the books presented by Bhaktivinoda Thakur for our benefit. And of course of the previous acharyas also, specifically Rupa Goswami. Namaste Gauravani Simute Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine. So I offer my obeisances to you, the embodiment of Sri Gauranga's message, Gauravani. Like even we offer obeisances to Prabhupada, Namaste Gauravani. So Pracharine, so Prabhupada is preaching the message of Gauravani. So similarly, so Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is the embodiment of Gauravani. And Dinatarine, delivering the fallen conditioned souls. So Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvanta Harine. So what is against the Siddhanta? So sometimes persons, they give some explanation, or devotees also, of how to perform devotional service, but it should be according, of course, to Prabhupada, and then specifically according to Rupa Goswami. And so anyone who was speaking something against Rupa Goswami, so he was smashing that person. Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he was also known as Singha Guru, lion-like, spiritual master, very, very powerful. And his body, so Mahapurush Lakshan were there, the symptoms of a great personality. Very beautiful, of course, golden complexion, and a tall body, and long arms, broad forehead. These are the Mahapurush Lakshan, the symptoms of a great personality. And he was also known as a walking encyclopedia. He was extremely learned in the Vedic literatures and the scriptures, Gaudiya Vaishnava scriptures. But even in general, he had so much general knowledge. As explained, he was a great astrologer. But then he left that, and he was simply engaged in devotional service. So when we recite these verses, so sometimes we should try to also remember the meaning of these verses. So today, of course, the disappearance day is there. So the day he left this body, this world, and actually it was now today's the 31st December, and according to Tithi, so that is the after Punima Tithi, which was on 26th. So today is the Panchami Tithi, the 5th day after the full moon. And in this Posh Mass, after Margashirsha Mass. And so, and it comes this year on the 31st December, last day of this year. But he left this world actually on the 1st January 1937. So tomorrow, according to the Western calendar. But so just missing one day, according to Tithi. Of course, first we should also say a few words about, of course, so much to say. We don't even have 1 hour is nothing. We should spend a few days discussing about his wonderful qualities and his teachings. The main thing is, of course, the teaching is according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur, and Rupan Raghunath. But then, so he was just, of course, taking the essence also, and according to time, place, and circumstances, giving some instructions. There are several books also in regards to his lectures, his instructions. But a little later I will read Upadeshavali. Upadeshavali. So a few, maybe I think 20, 24, we will read after in a few minutes, instructions which he felt are important, like Prabhupada, of course, he also gave many instructions in his books, and essential instructions may be there. So that is known as Upadeshavali. Upadesh means instruction, Vali means a selection of different verses. Or can be a row also, different meanings of Sanskrit. Like we have the name Chandravali, a row of moons, Chandra, a name of Radharani's expansion, cousin sister, rival Gopi. So Upadeshavali, important, which he felt important instructions, which he wanted his disciple to embrace, so to say. So we're speaking about disappearance, but first has to be appearance of a great personality, and then about his life, and then we can speak about the disappearance also. His appearance was, according to solar calendar, on 6th February 1874. That is also now significant because next year, 2024, and 29th February, just a few days after. So we are going to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki. So there are verses in glorification of Mahaprabhu, songs also. If Mahaprabhu had not come, who would have come to know about the wonderful pastimes of Radha Krishna? And then another verse is there, song is there. If Rupa Goswami had not come, who would have known about Mahaprabhu and Radha Krishna's pastimes? Who would not have come to know? Similarly, if the other great Acharya, Narottam, Vishwanath, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, and now Prabhupada, if they would not have come, we would not have come to know about Rupa Goswami, the teachings of Mahaprabhu, Radha and Krishna. So according to, so now Posh Mass, and after that, so we have Magh Mass, and so he appeared in Magh Mass. Also there, I believe it is also the Panchami Tithi or Chaturthi, no, Panchami Tithi also. But Krishna Paksha, the dark fortnight, whereas here also, the disappearance and appearance. And so he appeared in Jagannath Puri, so he's a Dhamvasi. Jagannath Puri Dhama ki. And so the great personalities, everything about them is divine. So his appearance was divine. So he appeared on the auspicious day. Or the day becomes auspicious when the great personality is appearing. So if Krishna is the center, Mahaprabhu is in the center, the devotees are there in our life, then every day actually is auspicious. But it was significant because when he appeared, the umbilical cord, which is connecting the child with the mother's womb, and he's getting his food through that. So he came out, and the umbilical cord was around his body just like a Brahman thread. And then also on his forehead there was almost the sign of the tilak was there. So when the mother saw that, then she immediately told her husband Bhaktivinoda Thakur, and then he knew that he's the answer of my prayers. My prayer was, I need a help, a ray of Vishnu, or a ray of Krishna, manifestation of the mercy of Radha and Krishna or Mahaprabhu. So he knew that is the child. And then later on, that was, of course, confirmed also, as he was, of course, as a little child, what he can do, but still, divine child. But in this, they say, even a pure devotee, when he's appearing, he's crying sometimes, and sometimes he's naughty. And so that is there. But then extraordinary activities are happening there. So when he was 5 months old, fifth or maybe 6th month, usually in the 6th month, beginning of 6th month, according to Shastra, Anaprashanam Samskar is performed, giving first grain to the child. So it was Ratha Yatra day. So Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra. So as we know, so many devotees are there. Millions of devotees are there doing Ratha Yatra. And they all, Jagannath, Jagannath, very auspicious. And they're pulling the chariot. So at that time, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada's father, he was district magistrate also. And the magistrate at that time, he was overseeing the affairs of the Jagannath temple. So the magistrate, that is the supreme position in a district. So he has to make sure that everything is going on nicely. And as Prabhupada said, that in the temple, so we have to see that the deity seva is going on nicely. Then the temple will run nicely. Similarly also, the Vaishnavas or the devotees, the persons in government also at that time, even now we have some, well, by the laws arrangement also, Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath, they are trying to follow Vedic culture, or they have faith in God, and they try to make sure that the praja, the persons in the country, they are adhering to the principles of religion. And like non-violence, not eating cows and so on, they are trying, but not so easy. Difficult job to control 1 billion people. And because it is natural, the Brahmanically inclined persons are there, and then others are there also who are not so Brahmanically inclined, and who are accustomed to sinful activities, and it's difficult to completely control, and it's practically not possible, but we should leave them, but they should be controlled. But if the seva is going on nicely in the temple, then in the district the problems will be less. But no problems, that is not possible. But if the seva is going on nicely, the problems are less. Therefore the district magistrate's duty, even now in Puri, he has to look over the affairs of the temple, Jagannath temple. So he was doing that also. And he was also the judge for some time, high court judge. And he was extremely efficient. And so therefore, of course, then answering his prayers, then he was blessed with, by the Lord's arrangement, the Divine Son was there. So he was just, Syed is mentioned here, some notes are there, in the 5th month. But most probably because, of course, we can calculate also if it is in the 5th month or 6th month. But usually the first grains for the boys is given in the 6th month, and for the girls in the 5th month, according to Shastra. But at the same time, if it is an auspicious day, then sometimes we may overlook this. We are following rules and regulations, but at the same time, what is most important is the bhav, the mood and the love towards Radha and Krishna or Mahaprabhu. And Rath Yatra, very auspicious day. And somehow the chariot, the Rath, stopped in front of Bhaktivinoda Thakur's house on the Grand Road from the Jagannath temple going to Dundicha temple, known as Grand Road. It is a grand road, very broad road. And so the Rath, and then thousands of people, hundreds and thousands of people are there pulling. But the cart stopped and he couldn't move somehow. Not only for 1 hour, 2 hours, but 3 days somehow. Very unusual. Even when Mahaprabhu was there one time, the chariot stopped and they were pulling with the elephants and thousands of people, but to no avail. Then Mahaprabhu went there and just with his hand he touched the chariot and the chariot moved on its own practically. So here the chariot didn't move. And then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, of course, he was also concerned and he brought his child there down and thought, anyhow, we put my child, a good opportunity to put my child in front of Jagannath. And the mother went there up also, they put the child in front of Jagannath. And he was trying the Jagannath, he was, so also, of course, his name was there, given then also Bimal Prasad. So there's a Bimala Devi there, who is there and offered respect to in the temple. And actually Jagannath Prasad is also given to Bimala Devi and then it is distributed. So therefore he wanted to give the name Bimala Prasad, Bimala Devi, Bimala Prasad, given by his father to his divine child. And so mother put the child there and he was 5-6 months trying to crawl a little bit. And then one garland fell from Jagannath on little baby Bimala Prasad. And of course the mother was so much happy because it is mentioned in the scriptures, and even we know Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami was writing Chaitanya Charitamrita, he was very old, he was thinking, how I can write, my hand is shaking. I'm so old, I can die any moment. But then the devotees requested him, before you leave the body, you have to write about Mahaprabhu. So he went in front of Mother Mohan, begging for blessings, and then one mala fell. So that is auspicious, that the garland is falling. Of course, it hardly falls. But sometimes flowers are falling. Even if a flower is falling, that is considered auspicious. And many times it happens and the devotees die. Sometimes they're thinking something, and then the flower is falling, or they have some question or some confusion, and they're asking Krishna to solve the confusion, and then they have some idea, and then Krishna is dropping a flower. Oh, it is confirmed. I had that experience also one time. A few times actually. Anyhow, so here, he understood, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, that this boy is special. And so the first grains he was taking was Jagannath Prasad. So they have very nice prasad. Of course, sweet rice is there and chawal. And so that was the first prasad he got. And actually then after, when he was 10 months old, then his family moved actually to Bengal, a place called Ranagat. If you go from the airport to Mayapur, Navadvip, then you're passing Ranagat. So he stayed there. So his early childhood was there. And so one time, so Bhaktivinoda Thakur was offering bhoga to the deities, and then of course prasadam was distributed. But then one time there were some nice mangoes. He was just 2.5, 3 years old. Nice mangoes were there. And little Bimal Prasad. So, oh, mango. He took a mango. And it was boga. It was not offered. And then his father mildly chastised him. My dear boy, this is not good. It was not offered to Jagannath. And you're taking. Whatever we eat, first we have to offer to Jagannath. And then, or to Krishna. And then we can eat. And little boy, just not even 3 years old, he took a vow, I will never eat mango again. This is called sincerity, determination. I mean, who can do that? Very difficult to do something like that. Only a Mahapurush, a great personality, can do that. But he never took the ripe mangoes. But I heard sometimes the kacha the unripe mango, if somebody was making a chutney sometimes, then sometimes used to take, but no ripe mango. So even if they were offered many times, they were offering to him also, like people come to see the Guru, and they're giving something. When you go to see the deities, we should offer something according to Shastra, nectar of devotion. And when you see the spiritual master, if you're coming from somewhere, you see him, after a long time you have to offer something. And sometimes they're offering mangoes. Here, nice mangoes. Oh, I'm aparadi, I cannot eat mango. He's 40 years old, 50, but still, he never ate mango in his life. And mango is like the king of the fruits. But of course, transcendental personality can do, because he has a higher taste. He's there in Gaur Lila and Krishna Lila. And there enough mangoes are there. Also Prabhupada one time, he was asked about Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. And Prabhupada just simply, our Prabhupada was asked about Bhakti Siddhanta by his disciples, please say something. And Prabhupada just said, what can I say? One thing I can say, he's a transcendental Vaikuntha man. So from the spiritual realm, of course, we know more. Of course, we don't know more than Prabhupada, but Prabhupada also explained ultimately, and we know that actually the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, the Acharyas, they are coming from Golok, not just Vaikuntha. But Golok is in the spiritual sky, Vaikuntha Lok. But the biggest abode is known as Krishna Loka. And in Krishna Loka is divided in 4. Dwarkapuri, Mathurapuri, and Braj Vrindavan, Golok. And the innermost part of Golok, Vrindavan, is known as Braj Vrindavan. Or Radha Krishna and Parakhi Bhav perform the pastimes. So even it is explained, different compartments are there. Pagarakoshta, even in Golok, where different devotees, they may have different relationships with Krishna. But the highest is that presented by Mahaprabhu in Parakhiya Bhav. And then of course Shvetadip Navadip is there, which is not different from Braj, and where Mahaprabhu is residing eternally. And and in that form is always relishing the mood of Srimati Radharani and the love and the transcendental bliss she is experiencing. Is Krishna, but in the mood and with the lust of Srimati Radharani. Antar Krishna Bhai Gaura. So Radha Bhava Duty Somitam Nome Krishna Sarupam is Krishna Sarup, but he is there with the bhav, with the mood, and the duty luster of Srimati Radharani. So that is the highest abode. And Vaikuntha is actually insignificant in comparison to Golok. All the Vaikuntha planets together, Prabhupada has written in one letter, does not equal, all the Vaikuntha planets together do not equal to Golok. Golok is huge and there are unlimited associates there. And Vaikuntha just outskirts of Golok. Like Delhi, you have the city, and then you have whatever, Chandi Chowk or maybe a Connaught Place. Different people have been different maybe ideas what is the center of Delhi, or Rajpati Bhavan, or where the president or prime minister are residing. But then, then there's Greater Delhi and then outskirts are there. So Golok is a center and Vaikuntha planets are just the outskirts. So he's actually from there. He's always, it is not that he came here and he appeared here and then after giving up this body is going back to Golok. No. So when he's coming, this Avirbhav, the appearance, and Tirobhav, the disappearance, so that is the manifestation of ultimately of the eternal form of Bhakti Siddhanta there in Golok is known as Nayana Mani Manjari. He's a Manjari, maid servant of Srimati Radharani under Rupa Manjari and under Lalita Devi. Of course, Rati Manjari are there also. And so coming from that realm, but when he's here, it doesn't mean he's not there. He's there, but he's in his manifested form is also here. And for the purpose of spreading. And he's in Shvetadip, Navadip also, in both places, like Rupa. He's there in the spiritual world in Shvetadip, Navadip, and he's also there in Golok. But then he's manifested here. And in the different universes, they all manifested. So Rupa Goswami is now in one universe. Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada is in one universe also. So unlimited universes are there and Krishna is performing his pastimes in each universe and Mahaprabhu also. And then the associates are coming also, giving Krishna consciousness to some conditioned souls. So that we have to understand. So when he was only 7 years old, that time he already had memorized the whole Bhagavad Gita. 700 shlokas. How many shlokas you know? You, what's your age? What's your age? 21. How many shlokas? How many you know? 30, 40. So 21. 3 times 7 is 21. Bhakti Siddhanta was 7. Bimal Prasad, 7. And he's 21, he knows 30 shlokas. That's okay. You can learn more now in the next few years. But he was 7 years old, he knew the whole Bhagavad Gita. There's some boys also, like in the Gurukul you can go, there's some boys, they know the whole Bhagavad Gita also. Already they're maybe 10 years old. And then I was there, they invited me one time to give a class, I spoke to them. And then I asked some shlokas, okay, you can translate the shloka? What is the meaning? They couldn't say. I asked some important ones. Anyhow, later on they will learn, no problem. But he was 7, he knew the whole Bhagavad Gita and he could speak on Bhagavad Gita also. He knew the most important verses and he could explain. So he was 7 years old only. And then, so his father gave him a Kurma Murti, a deity of Kurma Shila. Shaligram Shila there. Even on our altar we have 12 Shilas, 13, 12 on one asana and 1 on the other one. So according to markings you may see different Nishinga Shila, Kurma Shila. So it was quite apparent that it was a Kurma. So even one time I had a Kurma Shila also. I gave to somebody after. So then he was worshipping the Kurma Shila. He was 7 years old worshipping Shaligram Shila. Exceptional. So that means already he must have also then received the Gayatri Mantra, Upanayan Samskar. The Brahmanas they were receiving early. Usually 8 to 12, but sometimes earlier also. Even, Shankaracharya. So externally Mayavadi, but actually a manifestation of Lord Shiva. A great devotee of Krishna. He was 8 years, he took sannyas. Exceptional personalities. And we are there 20 years old and then we are starting our bhakti or sometimes a little earlier. But these are exceptional personalities. So eternal associates have come here to give up some help, give up some help. Anyway, then he gave him a Nishinga mantra also. So the different, we have the mantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Nishinga mantra also. Omugambiram Mahavishnam Jaratam Sarvatamugam Nrishinga Vishambadam Mityamityam Namamyaham. So he giving this mantra, Nrishinga mantra. Other mantras are there also, Sinishinga Jai Nishinga Jai Jai Nrishinga Devi Ityadi. Or there's a Nrishinga Gayatri. Each deity, there's a Gayatri for each deity. Like, we're chanting also, those who are initiated, second initiated, Gaur Gayatri. No different from Mahaprabhu. Kam Gayatri, no different from Krishna. Of course, Gopal mantra is there also, no different. So then the Nrishinga Gayatri is there, Radha Gayatri is there, Nityananda Gayatri is there. So no different, that is a help. Main is the Maha Mantra. But in the beginning, there may be no realization that Krishna Swarup is there. Therefore we have to hear about Krishna's wonderful Roop, and the gun, the qualities, the form, qualities and pastimes. And we should see the deities, worship the deities. And the Gayatri we chant also, that will help us to be focused. And then when we do all these things, we can chant Hare Krishna and we can remember Krishna. And we can see Krishna. That is proper chanting, Shuddhanam. Then you can see Krishna when you're chanting. Not only you see Krishna, you can see Krishna's associates and his pastimes. So he got the Nrishinga mantra. Of course, he was chanting the Maha mantra on his beads also, given by his father. And he was actually 10 years. When he was awarded that, he was 10 years. Now in his teen years, so maybe I think 16, 17, he was giving the title Siddhanta Saraswati because of his study of astrology. When he was in 1992, he entered a Sanskrit college in Calcutta. But after 3 years, he quit the college to do bhajan. And then he was actually well known, and therefore sometimes the different kings, they wanted him to train his children, give Sanskrit or education to them, because he quickly learned also Sanskrit, but then he left the college. And astrology, so many of the kings, they engaged him, and of course gave him some money, but each time after some time he quit, and he didn't want to be together with the royal families, and he wanted to simply be absorbed in chanting the holy names and studying the scriptures and then teaching also. And in 1897, so he was just 23 years, he started following Chaturmas. Of course, we also, to some extent, follow Chaturmas. Prabhupada in the West, of course, in the beginning, so we have to teach the ABC to the child. So Prabhupada taught the ABC. Of course, everything is there in Prabhupada's books, ultimately. And if we are sincere, then we will understand, but also with the help of the previous Acharya's books, we may understand the deep meanings of Prabhupada's purpose also. Like Chaturmas, Prabhupada gave the simple way. First month, no eating what? What do you know the eating first month? You following? First month. Spinach, no spinach. Second? No yogurt. Third? No milk. Fourth? No urad dal. But Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, so he was 23, so he was following Chaturmas, and according to Sanatana Goswami, Hari Bhakti Vilas, different items he was not taking. No tomatoes, no carrots, no brinjal, no loki, eggplant, loki sabji. And also he was not shaving. In the beginning for 4 months, but then sometimes after 2 months he was shaving. And then again after 2 months shaving. So that is usually those who follow Chaturmas. Of course, Prabhupada didn't want that, so we try to also follow Prabhupada as much as possible. But Bhakti Siddhanta was following every year. So the Goswamis also. So that came from the Goswamis actually. But we have to follow our spiritual master, and according to time, place, circumstances, Prabhupada kept it simple, and And so he had the hippies becoming Krishna conscious, and he wanted them to remain devotees and not to become hippies again. So he didn't want them to keep beard and long hair. And in 90, he was 26 years old. He got initiated by Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji. And also, he started also writing and publishing books or editing different magazines of spiritually inclined persons who had had their magazines. Actually, he wanted to take initiation from his father, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. And his father was everything to him. But then Bhaktivinoda Thakur, because at that time there were many Goswami families from, followers of Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, from the different Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Vansh. So the descendants of Nityananda of Advaita Acharya. And sometimes they were not completely in line with Mahaprabhu's teachings, like Advaita Acharya had 6 sons. 3 were following strictly Bhakti Siddhanta, and 3, they were actually slightly deviating. So same with many of the followers of Nityananda also. Some were strict, but some were not so strict. So therefore you want to avoid that I'm now becoming a empowered personality or guru, and then my son should also be guru. So he wanted to avoid that, so he told him, no, I will not give you initiation. Although he given him also Nishinga mantra already, he was practically initiated, but still, just to make a point, you should take initiation from Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji, my friend. And Gaur-Kishore Das Babaji was actually from a Vaishya community, and so he was not so, well, sometimes it is mentioned he was illiterate. I mean, but actually he had, of course, little study was there, but not much, so he was not learned, the least to say. And then therefore also Gaur-Kishore, when he approached him, Bhima Prasad, please give me initiation. My father told me. And I said, no, you're a great scholar. You already did that. I was a great scholar, and I have hardly any knowledge. I can give you initiation. But he had bhakti, and that is more important than knowledge. Bhakti, also necessary of the Lord. Prema bhakti. And Bimal Prasad he knew also, because his father told him. And he's a great personality, so he could understand. But so just and to set the example that we have to take Diksha, so then he begged him. And Gaur-Kishore said, I will think about it. I will ask Mahaprabhu. Okay, you come in a few days. After a few days he came, and so Babaji Maharaj, very humbly, so what about initiation? Did you ask Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu, yeah, for initiation, my initiation. Oh, I completely forgot. You come in a few days. He came back in a few days, and then again, humbly, did you ask Mahaprabhu? And Gaur-Kishore said, yeah, I asked him, and he told me I should give you initiation. So then, your name will be Vasabhanavi Datta Das. So the servant of the beloved Rani, that is Krishna. But there was no sacrifice there, just he gave the name, and beads were there also. And that was it. Of course, initiation then usually has to be a fire sacrifice to make some impression, that is samskar. So we don't take it cheaply, and we don't forget. So we take it seriously. But the real initiation is coming from the heart actually. Vidvadrudi. When you understand, he's a great personality, I'm insignificant, I should take shelter of him, he's my guru. And then you surrender. Whole life I will follow him. And then taking the name and then the fire sacrifice, that is external, but it is there for the general people, so they take it seriously. And so, sometimes devotees say that the spiritual master is giving the connection with Krishna, But actually we are connected since time immemorial with Krishna. We are never separated from Krishna. But because of the modes of material nature, we don't know that we belong to Krishna. We don't know our relationship. So it's helping us to realize our relationship. That is Guru. But then we have to do the work also. He will help, He will give instructions, He will smash our ego. But then we have to actually work on ourselves. We have to endeavor. Prabhupada also mentioned. Initiation is a formality. But you have to do the work yourself. And then you can advance. But the spiritual master is there and giving blessings. And he's Satyavak, the great devotee. Whatever is true, whatever he's saying, that is the truth. And that will happen. He didn't have to say different kinds of Ashirvad. One is by speaking. One is so by Tan Man Vacha. By thinking, if the Guru, the great devotee is thinking, oh, this devotee is serving nicely, he should be blessed. That person is blessed. Or you may say, Krishna Matirastu, Ayushvam Bhavatu, Kalyanam Bhavatu. Krishna Matirastu, may Krishna be in your consciousness. So by thinking, by speaking, or by even Ashirvad Mudra, this is Ashirvad Mudra. Like this. Of course that the thinking is there also. He's seeing a devotee and offering obeisances. But by the hand, Ashirvad Mudra is there. But the thinking is there also. And then the main thing is the thinking actually of Sri Guru. And then the speech is there and the hand gesture may be there or petting on the head. Okay, Ashirvad. Or sometimes maybe he has to chastise and give him a little slap. That is Ashirvad also, mercy. Sometimes needed also. So then anyway, he got initiated and then one time Bhakti Gokishore told him, you should stay in Navadvip, Mayapur, you should never leave the Dham. Okay. And he was doing his bhajan, Shatakoti Naam. He was chanting 1 billion names for like 8-9 years, you can calculate. Chanting 1 billion names. So he was chanting every day 3 lakhs, means 3 times 64 rounds. How many rounds you're chanting? 16, okay. 4 times 16 is 64. 3 times 64, he was chanting. Anyway, we cannot imitate. Anyway, 16 is good. By Prabhupada's mercy, we chant 16. But if you can chant more, it's fine too. Prabhupada said, at every time of initiation, how many rounds? 16. Prabhupada, at least 16. That to say, at least 16. What does it mean? It means we should chant more. 16 is the minimum. So of course we have to do seva also. That is important. We have to hear. So japa. So we can always do more. Never think that 16 I have done my duty. No. This minimum. You can chant more also. Chanakya Pandit also said 3 things. Japa, Svadhyay and Dhanam. You can never say I did enough. I chanted enough. I studied enough. I gave enough donations for householders. We should never think, I gave enough. So householders here, okay, did you give some donation sometimes ago? Don't think you gave enough, you can give more. Okay? Prabhuji, he used to give chadars also on his wife. I didn't get any chadar yet this year. You can still give. So we should never think I gave enough. We can always give more. So, anyhow, but we have to see time, place and circumstances. So, in 1906, so he was chanting his 3 lakhs name, then of course naturally some people, they came to him for initiation. So he was just 32 years old, he gave initiation to his first disciple. Anyhow, so, there's so much. It's already 9:15. What to do? We can speak for 5 more minutes and I think we have to close because other devotees may have some other engagements to do. So, but then very important also that when he was there in Mayapur, he established a printing press, printing books. And he was saying many times also, and then he established 64 mats. And one famous one in Calcutta, Bag Bazar mat. And then at one point they were a little bit fighting for position. I want that room, this room, I should be the president, this and that. And then he was a little bit disappointed. And he was saying also to our Prabhupada, whenever you get money, you print books. So even he was one time expressing we should sell the bricks of the temple, and then we can print books, and then we can distribute the books. That is more important. So he was very much emphasizing book distribution, and Prabhupada, of course, he took that to heart, and therefore he was pushing the devotees, book distribution. And Saranga Thakur also taking to heart here, book distribution, in charge of Sankirtan here, and distributing many books for the pleasure of Prabhupada, for the pleasure of Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada. So that is known as Brihad Mridanga. So doing kirtan or even speaking some words, how far you can go. But distributing books, you can distribute and they can keep it, and you can, and that will last. But the sound, of course, that will stay for some time. That is the effect is there also, but if you have a book in the hand and you keep the book, then there's more benefit there. So, and also important point, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wanted him to glorify Mayapur Dham. So that he also, he established a temple there at the Yoga Pit, appearance place of Mahaprabhu, and other temples, of course, also the Mulmat is there, nearby the Yoga Pit, and there he established the service of Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari. And then also respecting the acharyas of the four sampradayas, also significant. We should be respectful to all the Vaishnavas. And then he established the Navadvip Dham Parikrama that Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada established every year before Purnima. And of course Bhaktivinoda Thakur has also mentioned in his books, but he personally was not able to do that, but then he asked his son to do that, and he did every year. It is also mentioned when to start. So he's, according to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, so we are following that. And every year since that time, all the Gaudiya Mats and now also in ISKCON, the Navadvip Mandal, or the Navadvip Mandal Parikrama is there. And of course he also came here to Braj and established Braj Mandal Parikrama also. And Prabhupada, he came here also. One time he came to do Braj Mandal Parikrama. And at Radhakund there was a meeting, of course, with Prabhupada, and then all the devotees were going to see the different places, but Bhakti Siddhanta had stayed back, and then now Prabhupada thought, let me just be with my Gurudev and hear something, ask him some question and hear from him. And then at that point, so Bhakti Siddhanta Prabhupada, there were 2-3 servants there, pointed out, Abhay Babu, so Bhai Charan, Prabhupada's name. So he likes to hear, he's hearing very attentively, and Prabhupada then explained also, because I heard attentively, therefore now I can speak nicely also. So first we have to hear what Sri Guru says, and then we have to apply in our life, then we'll get a realization, and then we can speak. We should not be like parrots, but we should realize. Not just hear and then repeat, but we should apply in our life and then serve with seva bhav, seva vritti, and then we can realize, and then there will be some effect. So that is also important. And so he gave sannyas to many devotees, and they were also preaching, and they were quite renounced. So Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada was very renounced. At the same time, Yukta Vairagya was there. If he had to meet some important person, then even he was not hesitant to wear nice shoes and a coat in the winter. And even one time he was coming in a big car, just to be able to communicate with the English people who were ruling India. And and of course we know also in 19 26, Prabhupada, our Prabhupada first time met him. And then at that time, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, of course he realized that this person is he's my disciple, so that relationship is between the great acharyas like Narottam and Lokanath Goswami. That is eternal relationship even in this world. So he recognized him and then he told him, you are an educated man. You should preach Gauravani in English language. And Prabhupada took that to heart, remembered his whole life. And therefore when he took sannyas, in Keshavaji Gaudiya Mat in Matra, and he was asked to speak, practically nobody knew English, except his sannyas guru, Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, who was his god brother, and his disciples, one or two of his disciples, Bhaktivinoda Narayan Maharaj, who did the ceremony. They knew English, but otherwise nobody else knew English practically. But he stood up and he said, he was asked to speak, and then he said, my Gurudev wanted me to speak in English language and speak to the educated persons. So therefore he spoke in English also. And so as we know, Prabhupada at one point also asked Bhaktisiddhanta, please you tell me, what shall I do? And then he repeated that also. Just actually 1 month before he left, Prabhupada also had sent a letter asking him, what shall I do? And then he gave the same message, you should try to preach Gauravani to the English-speaking people. So, and so then, yes, so sometimes it is explained that he left prematurely, so he was just 53 years old, 56 years old. No, 63, 37 and 26, 63 years old when he left. So he was a little disappointed with some of his disciples, but still we should try to understand that he had some, even he mentioned sometimes the name of some of his disciples who were great personalities, who were pure devotees. Of course, Prabhupada included, but others also. But then he left on the 1st January. It was 6:30, and there was a miracle actually, it is told, that all the wall clocks which are there, when he left the body they stopped. All the wall clocks in the mat, they stopped. So some devotees say. So this day, and then also actually, that was in Calcutta, in Bagbazar Gaudiya Mat, and some of the leading disciples, so they wanted to cremate his body there and put the ashes in the Ganges. But then some of the disciples, especially Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Maharaj, who was not sannyasi yet, his name was Kunja Bihari, now the Vinod Bihari, he said, no, we cannot allow this. Why we cannot burn the body of our spiritual master? It's transcendental, Divya Sharir. We should bring him to Mayapur and put him in Samadhi there. Then there was a little, no, we should burn him here. But then ultimately he was very strong, Prabhupada Sannyas Guru. Although he was a brahmachari, but he was very much respected because he was also empowered actually by Bhaktisiddhanta many times, so pastimes are there. And then he booked a whole train from Howrah station to Krishnanagar, and then by boat, and then they crossed, no actually they stayed by boat they had to cross, and then they performed the Samadhi ceremony in the place where Bhaktisiddhanta was staying mainly, that is known as the Moolmat, which is near the Yoga Pit, and there, so his Samadhi is there and one can take darshan. And there also there are two ponds, and there's a hill there, and signifying Govardhan Hill and Radhakund and Shamakund. So they put him in Samadhi there. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki. Well, actually I wanted to read the Upadeshavali, but I think another time. It is a little late. But important instructions are there, maybe some other time, but you can see, I'm sure on internet you can see. Upadeshavali of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada. The 24 lines are there, which important instructions which he wanted the disciples to follow. So you may separately see that also. It is a little late and many of us, we have other duties to perform also, including myself, so we have to stop here. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Yeah, so at 12:45 there will be bhajans and Saranga Thakur will be singing Gyanila Premadana. So feelings, first we have to become a little attached to Sri Guru.